Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, earthlings, wherever you are. Oops, won't knock the table. So, today, cups of tea ready. So I wake up. I've been thinking lately how quiet Meghan has been for some time now. It's actually really surprised me that she didn't drop any bombs on or near the coronation, and I don't think the hiking photo, I don't think that was ever going to cut it. There were probably secret subliminal threats or messages in that to somebody that only that person will understand. That's possible. But I see this morning that apparently the BAFTA TV Awards are, I think that the viewers vote for these. I think I'm right in saying that. So it's a really important one. It's not some committee. It's not arty-farty people. I think it's the one where the actual viewers choose. And I see Kate Winslet and her daughter won for something on Netflix that I've never heard of. So congratulations to her. I saw Billie Piper was there, David Tennant, our Doctor Who. Anyone in America, I guess you get Doctor Who. I think that it's a global thing. I'm so pleased they've brought him back. He was always as a family, our favourite Doctor Who. I love him. So it was a big thing, but I didn't see Meghan there. Of course, it was it's the British TV Awards, BAFTAs. I think BAFTA stands for British Art Film something. I can't remember. There's so many of these award things, but I know that is a big one. And I see that Meghan and Harry went out to a sushi bar. Not very interesting photographs, and she's wearing yet another shade of brown, which is a darker shade of beige, which she said in Netflix she felt she had to wear beige all the time when she was in the royal family so she didn't upset or upstage anybody else. But if you go back and you look at a lot of her outfits since leaving the royal family, an awful lot of them are black, white, beige, neutrals. They're not exactly bright colours, are they? Whereas the famous photographs at Birkenhead with the pregnant kneecap shot, God knows what caused that or what that was all about, but she was wearing red and purple, which is a far cry from beige. I mean, it's all out there, but I watched that Netflix thing and she said she wore beige all the time. Well, red and purple is not beige. Now, it just seems to me that award ceremonies come and go, and there's no sign of her. But this sushi bar thing, I read in page 6, because now page 6 is a little bit more my go-to thing. If I want to know anything about what Meghan's PR is doing in relation to either Meghan or vicious rumours against the Prince and Princess of Wales and their family, or vicious rumours against our Queen Camilla or King Charles, our King, I go to that because I just see that as a sort of a megaphone. See what I did there? Megaphone. Anyway, so I go there, and I don't know if it's in any other publications yet, but apparently they went to the sushi bar to have lunch with a whole host of bigwigs, amongst them apparently Cameron Diaz. Now that really surprises me. Firstly, I haven't managed to find any photographs of Meghan and Harry with Cameron. Secondly, Cameron Diaz she's always been a favourite of mine, and she's always come across as one of these Hollywood A-listers who's very down to earth and really doesn't care that much, and is a lot of fun. One of the top, they're just so high up, they're so successful that they feel they can more be themselves. So I find that really surprising. Now, I'm sure if page 6 says Cameron Diaz was there with her husband, and there were a couple of other names that were famous, but I can't remember who they were. In fact, people have got to be really, really famous before I know who the hell they are, like Elvis Presley or Michael Jackson. They have to be super famous, or Freddie Mercury, or the King or Queen of England, you know. I'm just not really a celebrity follower. So there's this very drab photograph of them entering what to me looks like a tax office. I'm sure it is a sushi bar, but you know, that's, if I was going to go to a lovely restaurant, I would expect it, especially if I was going to be deliberately packed, I would expect it to the outside. I'd try and choose somewhere that looks a little glamorous, that's not it looks like a concrete jungle. And then there's no sign of any of these. Apparently there was some lady there that was the first female billionaire. Yeah. So this is all according to Page 6, which could well be Meghan's PR people. And what I've noticed with her is when she wants to be associated or she wants to work with someone, I think she gets, this is my opinion, I think she gets her PR to put a rumour out there that's not true, to tweak the interest of the person. For example, when they first left the royal family, there was a PR puff piece that came out that said, now that Meghan's left the royal family, Tom Cruise would like to work with Meghan and be the one to lure her back into Hollywood. Well, Graham and I burst out laughing. Graham's a huge Top Gun fan, and he likes Tom Cruise and he doesn't. It's a love-hate relationship, but he does follow Tom. And he just found that just so unbelievable, and so did I. And I thought, well, that's a classic PR trick. Try and connect the two names in an article, then it will put the thought in the mind of Tom Cruise, who actually quite quickly came out and said, it's not true, nothing of the sort, which we thought was even more double hilarious. And the other puff piece she put out at the time was that Angelina Jolie might like to mentor Meghan and help her find her feet as a woman of the world. And I don't think Angelina actually spoke out, but I think her PR people sort of put the media straight and said, that's not the case. So I also found that quite hilarious. So, okay, maybe Cameron Diaz was there at the lunch. She's a I think she's a down-to-earth girl. Maybe some of you guys don't like her, I don't know. I know we all differ on who our favourites are and not. I've always been a big Shrek fan. Okay, it's not so much Charlie's Angels, and I saw that film she did with Tom Cruise, oddly enough, a few weeks ago. I can't remember the name of it now, but it was really funny, really funny. It was a kind of a Mission Impossible, James Bond kind of, and it was a parody sort of thing, and both Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz were marvellous in it. Maybe she was there at the restaurant, or maybe she wasn't, or maybe she just happened to be in the restaurant when they went to the restaurant. I don't know. And so that has been put out. And maybe they went up to the table and said, oh, hi, we're the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I don't know. But what a lovely shade of brown. I'm not going to comment on her figure or her physical appearance. I've said many times before, I don't do that to people. And anyway, Meghan's an okay-looking woman. See, even me, she tricks me into thinking of her as a girl. The woman is middle-aged. She's a middle-aged housewife. She's one of us. Oh, I've only just realised that. Because Christopher Boozy said us critics of her were all middle-aged housewives. That's exactly what Meghan is. She's a middle-aged housewife. Anyway, the Cannes Film Festival is on at the moment. And we as a family are big fans of the Cannes Film Festival. We actually went there in 2017. Will she and Harry turn up at the Cannes Film Festival? I wonder, because they could. They don't have to be invited to anything, I don't think. They could just turn up there. That's what we did. We weren't invited. Of course we weren't. I was really impressed with myself because I saved up £3,000 and we had to get trains and planes to get to Nice because I booked this penthouse. I saw it on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, and it was €300 for 2 nights, and it slept up to 6 people, and it was a penthouse, big fancy one. And I thought, it was on booking.com on a special offer, so I booked it, much to the annoyance of the guy who owned it, because I just booked it for the 2 nights. smack on the really prime weekend of Cannes, because the festival goes on for about 11 days. And then afterwards he tried to get out of it, like, I can't believe booking.com put that down as a special offer. I'd like you to cancel. And I was like, no way, no way. So we got that for a bargain, and he was livid because it was the type of place that one of the big movie producers would have booked for the entire festival. So I was quite pleased with that, but then I didn't realise how you'd get to Cannes. I thought, oh, maybe we'll drive in one of our dodgy old cars. And then I looked how far it was. I thought, oh, we can't do that. So then I had to figure out the train route to Madrid, and then fly from Madrid to Nice and everything. And I had a whole itinerary printed out, and Graham really didn't want to go. And the kids were like, nah. And so I was very much on my own. And I remember him saying the night before we left, welcome to your nightmare. And they were all laughing at me at Dolphin Safari as well, going, you're going to come back, it's going to be a nightmare. But it wasn't. It all ran to plan. I was very proud of myself. We went there, we stayed in his penthouse. We weren't invited. We didn't have any, you have to have a special badge to get into any of the films. We didn't have any of them. We hadn't entered a film. We were going to enter a film, but we didn't, because they have like little contests and stuff for amateurs. And we just went to sort of soak up the atmosphere. Had our pictures taken on the red carpet, because they lay the red carpet out days before. And we actually made a video, which I will put a link in the description. And while we were wandering around the antique market on the first morning, there was a sign that said helicopter rides, €45 each. And I went, I want to do a helicopter ride, I want to do a helicopter ride. And Graham was like, it'd be a lot more than €45. You'll see, it'll be a trick. And it wasn't. I insisted we go. But then we found out that only 3 of us could go in the €45 one. But they had a 6-seater, a much bigger, fancier helicopter. But that worked out, I think it was something like €300 for the 4 of us. But they needed another couple of people. So I actually went and did a sales pitch, and I got 2 extra people. So the 2 extra people you see in the helicopter, see, I don't just sell dolphin trips and dolphin tickets, I sold helicopter tickets. And we had a fantastic time, 12 minutes, and trust me, 12 minutes is long enough in a helicopter. After about 5 minutes, I feel like, you know, I don't know how people, and the pilot said, you'll never guess who's just been sitting where your bum is right now. He said this to Graham, and Graham went, no, who? And he said, Will Smith. And Graham said, who's Will Smith? That is exactly what Graham said. And both kids went, are you kidding, Dad? Who's Will Smith? Who's Will Smith? Men in Black? Oh my goodness. Anyway, so we did the helicopter ride, and then I booked a villa with a swimming pool in just outside Monte Carlo, and that cost €40 for the night. €40. So I mean, the whole thing was really done on a shoestring. And we went to Monaco for the day. We didn't buy anything, we didn't eat anything, and all our clothes we got from the local Asiaticos, the chinos shops here, for like €5-10. I was so pleased. I love doing things on a budget, like really cheap. And there was a car with our family name on it. What was that car, Greg? What kind of car is that?
Renault.
A Renault, yeah. They had like all these Maseratis, and then they had this little Renault with the name Hesketh on it, which we thought was hilarious. So we did like a gazillion selfies with it. And there were reasons that I'd booked the film festival, because we were getting it was kind of the way that we got our narcs under control in the end. We just paid to them with that. It's another long story, which I will tell you if you want to know, but I won't do it in this one. So Harry and Meghan could do that. They could. Well, they would never do it on a budget. We all know that, because they're incapable. I think she's incapable of doing anything on a budget, as she is incapable of wearing any other colour than brown. I mean, every outfit, when they went to the polo, there was her and she was holding Archie in like a bit of a weird way, and Catherine was there, big brown gown. When they went to Morocco, and she wore the sort of neck to floor body bag that was mud brown, cost €99,000 or something, cost more than our house. It's always brown. When she went to, I think she went to Louis' christening, I can't remember. She wore a sort of a greeny army. Maybe the girl wants to join the army. Maybe she'd do well with Uncle Sam. I don't know. So I'll be watching the Cannes Film Festival, because there's all the iconic stars. Of course, Grace Kelly, massive one. Marilyn Monroe, Princess Diana famously wore that lovely sky blue chiffon dress, very, very like Grace in To Catch a Thief. Grace Kelly wore something very similar. So all the icons, Nicole Kidman, I do believe Cameron Diaz has deigned the red carpet once or twice at the Cannes Film Festival. So will Megsy go to the Cannes Film Festival? And what shade of brown will she wear? Now, just quickly before I go, Cynthia, thank you very much for the emails about ideas of how to do the kitchen on the boat, galley. I tried to reply and the email bounced back, unfortunately, and I do get that with some of you. I don't know why that happens. And Christine, thank you very much for the emails that you send me and pointed something out really, really interesting. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this or not, but apparently King Charles gave a toast to Archie in private, you know, at one of the parties after the coronation to say happy birthday. And I heard the same quotes that apparently he said, happy birthday to Archie, wherever he may be. And so Christine emailed me to say, well, what do you think he meant by that? Because it is a very odd way of wording it. I don't know. What do you guys think he meant? Wherever he may be. Curiouser and curiouser. As always, thank you very much for listening. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions.